Alrighty, so this is gonna be my first video recording with my mic. That's pretty cool, but anyway, so this is going to be a Battlefront 2 Supremacy tier list, ranking just from the prequel era or Age of the Republic. So we have Felucia, Geonosis, Camino, Naboo, and Kashyyyk, I think. Yeah, Kashyyyk. And I mean, the tiers of themselves are pretty self-explanatory. I mean, peak gameplay. I mean, these are the maps you play. You feel like you're actually in the universe, and they're just fun to play in. Like even when you're dying and stuff, these are just great maps. Great. I mean, they're pretty good. Well, okay, there's a pretty good tier, but great maps are just the ones that, yeah, I load into this one. This one's nice. I like playing this one. This is great. Pretty good. It has some flaws in it, I feel, but overall, if I get this map, I'm fine with having it. Meh, that's just, it's okay. And then I don't even think there's any horrible or bad maps in this game. And also, this is supposed to be replaced. Yeah, horrible is definitely not as bad. But overall, these are the tiers. So up first, you have Felucia, right? Now, from a design perspective, Felucia is great. When you look at Felucia's interiors, like, I guess you could call them the huts, like the little areas that you can go in. Just the fact that you can even go in those is great. So from a design perspective, it's probably the most intricate map, I'd say, just with the way you can interact with the environment. There's like the farmland and stuff of that sort that you can view. And just overall, there's like that laser gate field that was part of that one Clone Wars episode, I believe, that you can actually turn that on and off. Like, there's just so many little details that make it great. And even overall as a map, I find the objectives fun. It's not too big where I feel like I have to run a lot to find people. You can really get into good skirmishes. So overall, I would say it's pretty good. I'd say it's pretty good just overall as a map. Now, Geonosis. This map is just, first of all, it's going in peak gameplay. This might be a hot take, but Geonosis is just great. When I'm playing Geonosis, I feel like I'm in the middle of the Clone Wars just instantly. The atmosphere is the best map, including all the Galactic Assault maps, any game mode. Just Geonosis and Supremacy is just phenomenal. When you look at the outside battles, not even what you're actually playing, the background, like the stuff happening in the background, seeing all the laser fire in the back, the dust going in your screen, or going across your screen, just everything makes it look so great. And the objectives too, on top of that, are so fun, and it has small, cool, intricate details similarly to Felucia. Not to the same extent. I think Felucia has a little bit more detail, but just the gameplay on Geonosis is just on a whole nother level in my opinion. Especially when you look at some of the other things, like there's the caves you can go into, which I don't even think that's something you'll notice unless you get a few reps in, but it's just like that extra layer of detail that just puts us as such a great map. And then up next we have Camino. Honestly, Camino is also just another great map. You're probably, especially when looking at the prequel era, they really slammed it. I don't even think you would see anything in like all of these maps, except for maybe Kashyyyk, just for a few gameplay reasons. But all these maps, design-wise, are just beautiful. I love playing all these maps. Even before I picked this game back up again, like not too long ago, maybe a month ago. Even back then, years ago, these maps were still so fun, and they still are now. Like, I feel like they never get stale just because of how great they look. Especially Naboo at night. Oof, it's great. Oh, that's the other thing. The thing, like, Felucia doesn't have a night map, which is so, like, Felucia missing a night map is just missing the mark on that one. If anything, it should have been missing a day map and had a night map all the time versus day map all the time, no night map. Like, if it had a night map, it would probably go into great, just because of all the, like, plant life lighting up. But anyway, Camino, I'm putting Camino in great. I love the concept of just a planet that never stops raining. I mean, you can see that in some planets, like in real life, but just the fact that in this universe, the cloning base is just constantly in a downpour. Like, the mood is just so good on Camino, just from a design perspective, and even the points are great. Like, my only qualm, I guess you could say, with putting into peak gameplay is the fact that there are a few spots where it feels like, as the Separatists, you can kind of get camped. Like, the main spawn point for the Separatists have you leading up that staircase, and if the whatchamacallit, I'm trying to think. If the Republic side has control of the base right outside the Separatist spawn point, it can be really easy to get spawn camped, I feel like. But other than that, the gameplay's great. I like how there is enough distance where it feels like snipers can be really powerful, which they pretty much on every map already are, but also even like heavy and assault classes can find their balance or just like their strength in some of the indoor areas. Like, and I just absolutely love the atmosphere of just the super dark tone that you get with it just raining the entire time, and how unlike the Galactic Assault version where it was just the start of the battle, this is like the aftermath, and how all the Kaminoans have already left. It's all gone to crap basically, and you can even see it in this image, the drill going in. I don't know its official name, don't smite me, but like the drill going into the building, it's just awesome. I love the atmosphere in that one. And then another great one, Naboo. I love Naboo. I also have to put it into great. Like, something about just the city, fighting in the city is just amazing. When you're looking at Naboo, the only things that's keeping me from putting it into peak gameplay for me is just the fact that you can't go inside when you're playing on Supremacy. That's the only thing. Every time I'm on Naboo, I'm like, wow, this is amazing, but I wish there was a point inside the building or just another part where you go inside, because although like fighting out in the streets is amazing, I wish you could go inside the temple like you can on Galactic Assault, which is just that one little thing. But other than that, I find this is probably, other than Geonosis, my favorite map to play on. So I'd probably put it above Camino, and the reason it's my favorite map to play on would definitely have to be just the fact that I feel like every class can thrive, and I know I said that for Camino, but this one, like, you have the large street in the center where snipers can really just, like I said, thrive, but you also have the narrow alleyways where other classes like the assault class, officer class can also put in work, and it feels like each point has its own special, I guess, kind of use or special way you take fights in it. And yeah, I just find that great. Also, design-wise, I love the way the streets look. It's just beautiful. When you go in first person and you're running down the Naboo streets, it's just amazing, honestly. And then Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk, actually, I know how I said I wouldn't, probably nothing in here would be meh, but I have a few problems with Kashyyyk. First off, it's a great map, and I love how it is in Revenge of the Sith, when you see it like a giant jungle area, but I feel like Kashyyyk's appeal in the movies isn't completely represented in the game. One of the coolest parts about Kashyyyk is the giant towers up in the sky, and obviously you can't put that in the game, but just because you can't put that in the game doesn't mean that doesn't take away from it. Like, obviously you can't just have people camping up in super high towers sniping down on everyone, and they do have those buildings that go higher in elevation, but you just don't get that same feel like you're up in the trees and you're really interacting with the wildlife as much as something like Felucia, just because of the way Kashyyyk is as a planet. And that's not even my biggest issue. I feel like Kashyyyk is too big. I don't know if that's just me, but when I'm playing on Kashyyyk, it feels like such a large map, and a lot of the time I'm running around looking for people, and it's just, I don't know. I don't hate it. It's not a bad map. If I get it, I'm still gonna have fun because it's Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is a great game, and the gameplay is still good. But as a map, ranking it, I think it's a little too big. Just at least on the main level. So I don't know. And when you go up into the hangars, like once you finish capturing your objective and you go up, I find that pretty fun. But overall, it's kinda meh. Like, I just hate how, like, for me, the most fun part about Kashyyyk is not being on Kashyyyk when you capture the objective or your team wins and you go up into either the Separatist or Republic ships, like mothership thing. I just think it's whatever. But yeah, this is overall my opinion on the Supremacy maps for the Age of the Republic. So yeah, that's about it. So yeah.